It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good morning, February 12th. It's Wednesday. It's hump day, so let's get to some humping. What do you say?
All right.
Come on.
All right.
Oh,
I guess
watch
that's how
you
we're doing it.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Ryder. You know, humping's an old colloquial term for morning radio.
Oh, great.
Maybe.
That's real. All right.
All right. Well, let's try. Let's see if we can make it stick. You guys ready to hump?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
But you
it.
never ask.
Usually I just demand, and I'm trying to evolve. All right, here's your top 5 and 6 for Wednesday, February the 12th. Yesterday, boy, what a heartbreaker, literally, for so many people, because yesterday, whether you knew it or not, was Red Tuesday, the day right before Valentine's Day. They dubbed this... A whole lot of people end relationships in the week running up to Valentine's Day, and it's usually 3 days beforehand. So yesterday, that means it was Red Tuesday. Multiple breakups. A lot of people just feel pressured by Valentine's Day. I would assume this generally means early in relationships. But imagine my surprise when last night Rosemary filed divorce papers. I was like, what the hell?
Oh, no.
I wasn't going to do anything for Valentine's Day. There's no pressure. And apparently that was the problem. She's like, I'm sick of this no Valentine's thing, and you're out. So anyway, listen, I got a nice room over at the Radisson, so you know it's nice, and we'll just see what happens. No, not at all. Millennial men lead the charge in Red Tuesday breakups. They say, it just gets too weird. It just makes me think a little more seriously about the relationship, and then I just have to bust on out. Most of those happen over the phone. And I don't mean a phone call, text messaging, equally as big a breakup device as a phone call. In person, not a chance. Most of the young people, no, not an in-person thing.
Yeah, no, don't. I mean, I wish I had that option all those years that I was breaking up with and being broken up with. The face-to-face thing is way overrated. That whole, be a gentleman and break up with her face-to-face. Now, people don't want that anymore anyway. Just shoot them a text, or best yet, just disappear. Just ghost them all altogether.
I'm very guilty of ghosting.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're a ghoster?
Horrible ghoster. Or what?
Yeah.
Now I'm married. That doesn't work anymore.
No. Actually, I got ghosted a lot when I was married, just within the house. That silent treatment.
Let me ask you this, Ryder. Longest relationship you ever ghosted? It wasn't like years and you just disappeared, but
it was, maybe a month, maybe?
Yeah, sure, okay. That's perfect. That's total ghosting realm, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
People get it. I mean, they go through that little awkward period, like, is everything all right? They question themselves. It's good for them, I think, internally to work it out themselves, It's not me. It is, as a matter of fact, you.
Yeah.
When the Catholic Church went to face-to-face confession, sitting there staring the priest right in the eye,
what?
I remember, that was a thing in like the early 80s. They're like, we're getting rid of the confessional. And then suddenly I'm sitting in a folding chair with the priest like 4 inches away, looking him dead in the eye, and I thought, this is better than when I broke up with Connie. Okay, number 4 on your top 5 and 6. The Westminster Kennel Dog Show went down yesterday, and a giant schnauzer named Monty. Monty for the win. Let's take a listen.
For Best in Show at the 149th Annual Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, I choose the giant schnauzer.
Oh my God! He did it! 3 years and he finally wins Best in Show. What an incredible moment for Katie Bernadette.
Monty Schnauzer, but bigger.
Yeah.
Look, there was a giant Schnauzer when I was a kid named Hans. I hated that dog. I see giant Schnauzers now. I cross the street just because of one.
No, you don't.
Because of one Hans in the 70s. I hated that sucker. Scared me to death.
All right.
He was probably not even. He was probably a mix, but he had that head, that Schnauzer head.
Yeah. When you see an oversized Schnauzer head, I think, we all get a little worried. I love it when the commentators mix it up at the dog show. What do you talk about at a dog show year after year? This is a fun little piece of audio.
She is really giving him a thorough going over. Are all judges that thorough? I mean, she looks at the teeth. Ouch.
Gums.
Am I seeing right? Where's she putting her hands now?
She's just checking out the dog's testicular area to make sure that everything is intact.
Hate to go out on a date with Judge Edie Franklin, have her judge me. That'd be no fun.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, it's the best. Back to reality. Monty's owner said afterwards, he always tries so hard, and I'm proud of him. What tries what? To look like a giant schnauzer?
Yeah,
like
to do what he's told.
Tricks. Yeah, he just follows you around. Come on.
Yeah, so he gets a treat or not beaten when he gets home.
You know, call me when they open up a mutt category and I can bring Chauncey to New York. That's what I'm going to give a rat's ass. Number 3 on your top 5 and 6. Look out! The Twin Cities population is expected to grow by 650,000 people in the next 25 years. 650 grand more coming in the next 25 years. And I will just say this to Minnesota, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Because I'm
That's
leading
not
the
a
charge,
good,
Jack.
It's
because
not a good
look,
thing.
I showed up, I start texting people, man, you got to check this place out. And now we got a population boom.
No,
Stop doing
you
that.
did that wrong, man. You were supposed
yeah.
to tell them it was terrible here so they don't come. We
Yeah.
need colder winters. We need more snow. We got to keep
Steve
them
likes
out.
Steve likes sitting in traffic.
I'm
He
just
loves it.
happy.
He likes just going out there and getting on 169 and just putting her in park.
I'm thrilled because if 650,000 more people show up, now this highway system will finally have the number of cars it was built for.
Yeah.
As a fan of high-speed rail, this is great news for me. I think every big city needs to explode so we finally get our heads out of our asses and go, let's just put some great high-speed rail all over the whole country.
I'm about ready to
towns.
hang
Let's
up
do
on
it.
you right now. High speed. Well, they've got one half built out there. It's just wonderful. It's been sitting there for years and years and years. I used to live over by it. A wonderful view of the highway rail to nowhere. Lots of those. Another couple of $1 billion, and I guess they'll get it out to
Finish that
I don't know what.
green line.
Eden Prairie or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that where it's going? Yeah, because
Well-
Eden Prairie wants all the riffraff from the cities shipped out there. It worked so well for the Mall of America.
It's interesting you mentioned Eden Prairie because Eden Prairie, Lakeville, Blaine, Maple Grove, and Woodbury, you're going to be growing the most. Eden Prairie, Lakeville, Blaine, Maple Grove, and Woodbury, get ready. Here we come, baby.
Might have to take another long look at Iowa, How long do I have? I'll be dead.
Number 2 on your top 5 at 6. A striking result from the Super Bowl on Sunday. An amazing curse has been lifted, and that is, of course, the Kirk Cousins curse. The Philadelphia Eagles are the first team who have ever lost to Kirk Cousins in the regular season, but then went on to win the Super Bowl. Cousins, it's a weird thing. Throughout his career, he has played against many teams that ended up in that season's Super Bowl, and every time he beat that team, they did not punch through. That's the power of a guy like Kirk Cousins.
Or if he's your quarterback, that's a different kind of curse, but you're also not going to win the Super Bowl.
Big to get a win, and I got to say it, Creed. I mean, I'm getting my ankles taped pregame because I try to get them taped as late as possible, and I'm sitting there on the table, and suddenly it comes on, and Garrett Bradbury's doing some body work next to me, and he goes, "Forget this, I got to go in."
All right, I can't listen. Yeah, it's like what's more vanilla than vanilla? What's the
In week 2 of this last season, the Eagles lost 22-21 to the Atlanta Falcons. Cousins got the win as the starting quarterback, and that night in the locker room, Philadelphia started playing the tape you just heard. A guy who likes Creed beat us. I mean, if that's going to fire you up more than anything else, and it certainly did work for the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 1 on your top 5 and 6 is going to wait really quickly because it's time to say good morning to Nowthen, Minnesota.
Yep.
Good to have
Now
you with
then.
us. Now then, number 1 on your top 5 at 6. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has announced its 2025 nominees. The 14 artists in alphabetical order are Bad Company. This must be a mistake. It says the Black Crowes. Mariah Carey, Chubby Checker. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, my former pop combo? My little rock and roll juggernaut nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Along with Mariah Carey, that bitch beat us for Best Artist Grammy in '91. I've still never forgiven her.
Carey.
Chubby Checker? Good Lord.
Yeah.
Was there anything after the twist? There was the twist, and then there was Let's Twist Again, right? That was it.
Remember when
Joe
the Rock and Roll
Cocker?
Hall of Fame jumped the shark?
Yeah, Joe Cocker. How is he not already in? Billy Idol. Nice. Joy Division New Order. Okay. Cyndi Lauper. Okay. Mana, no idea what that is. M-A-N-A with a little accent, something over the A. Oasis, Outcast, Fish, Soundgarden, The White Stripes. Okay, fair enough. Let's see what happens. All I know is this. If the Black Crows go in, then by God, we're all going to Cleveland.
Do we have to? I mean, I really hope that they do, but I thought you'd pass on the whole Cleveland thing.
No, we'll go do the show from there.
Cleveland?
Yeah, we'll go to Cleveland, man. They got bars and pool tables. What else do you need?
Okay.
Can I just go to Blaine and call it a push? Come on, Blaine. I love you. Nobody loves me more than you do. But that's not a secret Blaine shout out. Oh, now I don't know what I'm doing.
Blaine.
God, I screwed it up.
Minnesota's own Cleveland.
God, you're going to get me beat up in Blaine.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Again.
Someone in Blaine's like, that's it, Zep. That is it.
Yeah,
I've put up with your nonsense long
Blaine.
enough. There's your top 5 and 6 for a Wednesday.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It's Wednesday, which means it's time to put together a little midweek mixtape. You remember the old mixtape? Put on the songs that you want someone to know how you really feel because you can't come up with the words yourself. Let's whip out a Valentine's Day midweek mixtape, except let's do the anti-love mixtape. Let's do the un-Valentine's Day songs. Let's do the breakup songs. Let's do the songs you put on there when you want to tell someone basically, yeah, this ain't going to happen. We're done. Let's make it happen. 651-989-ROCK. What songs go on your mixtape? Hang tight. I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. We're putting together a midweek mixtape. Anti-love songs, breakup songs, screw Valentine's Day. What comes to mind on the KQ talking text line 651-989-ROCK? I forgot about this one. The first text I read, Martin Briley's The Salt in My Tears. That's a great tune back in the day. What are you kidding me? I love that one.
Track that one down. Sounds interesting.
Oh, The Salt in My Tears. Solid. And a great video. Back when videos were still like, hey, did you see that music video?
Yeah.
Kind of cool. But so far, the leader in the clubhouse from the talking text line, Harder Than Your Husband by Frank Zappa.
Is that real? Is that a real song?
Oh, absolutely. It's the lyrics are amazing. We must say goodbye. There's no need for you to cry. It's better that I tell you this tonight. Our affair has been quite heated. You thought I was what you needed. But the time has come, my darling, to set things right. Because I'll be harder than your husband to get along with. Harder than your husband every night. Harder than your husband. Harder than your husband. And I don't want our love affair to start with a fight. See, he leaves that pause there. That's
I know.
good stuff. That's
God,
good
Zappa
stuff.
He could only write music, you know?
I know.
His lyrics were always great, but then I got, lost in the... all right, thanks, Zap.
No, one of the great lyrical pauses is, I'll be harder than your husband to get along with. It's like English beats, just hold my hand while I come to a decision on it. You know, it's these are the tricks of the trade. Get up those mixtape songs, anti-love songs, on the KQRS Facebook page or on the KQ Talk and text line 651-989-ROCK. This is the KQ Morning Show. It's Wednesday, and I, like Twisted Sister, want to rock. That's a pretty general state of mind for me. Always happy to be where the rock music is playing. And I was like that when I was a kid in school. If they had an iPod when I was younger, if they had earbuds, if they had all the things now, I wouldn't have heard a word. I would have never heard a single word a teacher ever said to me.
I mean, I don't know how I never heard a single word without all those distractions, but I pulled it off.
But yeah, exactly. So it would have been exactly what already happened, but with a better soundtrack. That's what it would have been like.
Yeah.
But schools, they crack down on that stuff. The teachers are always on the lookout for things. We talked about the fact that a lot of Minnesota school districts are banning cell phones, or they're certainly trying to make that the case. In Alabama, a high school has taken an unusual step. Joining a lot of other schools who've already done this. They're not so concerned with your cell phones. They're not concerned with your headphones. They're a little concerned with what you're wearing on your feet. Take a listen to this.
It actually is a safety hazard. Man, they can twist their knees, twist their ankles, things like that. So you won't have tennis shoes on all the time.
If it's an emergency, we can still wear our Crocs because we can put them in sports mode and we can run.
You can't go on a basketball court and go side to side, lateral, and jump up now and with Crocs on. It's a hallway. Kids are moving. Things are happening. It's a safety hazard. It's a safety hazard. I mean, things happen. If they break out with something happen, they have these high heels on and slip and fall. The school is liable.
That's a Croc.
What, Crocs?
Crocs.
Crocs
That's what they're
approved by
talking
school
about.
shooters, maybe.
Jeez.
You can't get away, you know? Unless you put them in sport mode?
You get on a basketball court. Well, listen, you know how long it takes a kid to learn that Crocs are not giving you proper ankle support? One twist of an ankle, and they're never going to do it again. Live and learn, I say. In fact, you know what? If I were in charge of that school district, I would say not only are we going to let you wear Crocs, we're going to have you play dodgeball while you wear Crocs.
In fact, you can throw the Crocs. That practically is a dodgeball.
That's another
I like that.
Another staple of our childhood that many schools across America have banned. Dodgeball.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. If you can't, those balls aren't that damaging. They don't hurt you that much. The whole point was, it really encourages bullying. It also encourages kids who get bullied to throw a red ball into their bully's face. It's legal. It's payback, man. That's what dodgeball was for me.
We used to have the teachers versus the students. You guys ever had that in dodgeball?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, a chance to really nail that, son of a bitch gym teacher in the nuts. But usually it just went the other way. Yeah, it was just Mrs. Baruth gunning for my head.
The strategy we would employ was everybody would decide you'd throw all your balls at the same teacher. It was like you just got to pick them off one at a time, knowing you're going to sacrifice. We're like ants. A bunch of us aren't going to make it, but the ones who do will have it. It's a team effort, dodgeball, when played to its when it's students versus teachers anyway. A school in Murrieta, California last year banned the dictionary from 4th and 5th grade classrooms. The dictionary.
Because the kids were looking up dirty words?
Yeah, a parent said there's a reference to oral sex in one of the definitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So all the other millions of words, we don't need to know what they are. We don't want to give that to our kids. And now, of course, a lot of schools across America are banning homework. So, for every ridiculous decision, you see one that kind of makes sense to me. Homework, or as I called it, that thing I pretended to do for years.
Yeah.
Never. Go to my room, shut the door, turn on that lamp on my desk, and just stare at a book. That's all homework was to me. And then I'd get up in the morning and just, when the adrenaline spiked and I'm panicked and I'm backed into a corner, and then I blast out a horribly written paper and say, I worked on this for days.
Give them those sad puppy dog eyes. High school is where I could just get by. I was just smart enough to be a C student without doing a damn thing, without lifting a book and really studying. And then you get to college and go, oh, we're getting graded on this crap. I got to know what's in here. But so that didn't last long. But yeah, all right, take the Crocs. Take those Birkenstocks. Here's why I like Crocs better than Birkenstocks. You can rinse off Crocs. Those kids with the Birkenstocks, smelly, man.
Yeah, you can put those Crocs right in the you can wash them with your laundry, which I learned that. I rocked a pair of orange Crocs for the better part of the year 2006, a gift from my children for Father's Day. And I just wore them once, and I got so much grief for them. I was like, I'm not taking these things off. These Crocs really piss people off. Giant orange, and they look like skis. It's like a size 14 orange. There's no hiding those Crocs. I'd wear those bad boys into airports, and people would be like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with that man?" My favorite banned clothing item was from a few years ago in Pennsylvania. An entire school district banned UGG boots. UGG boots, not because the UGG boots presented a problem of safety, but they were the perfect place for students to hide their cell phones. They'd already banned cell phones, and then the kids were like, I'll just slide it down my UGG. And then the teachers picked up on that, so then they were like, all right then, no more UGG boots. Go figure.
All right, and then they found somewhere else to hide it. Congratulations. You're whacking moles here, boys and girls. They'll figure it out, but, it's Minnesota, for crying out loud, in the winter. They've got like 5 layers on. There's lots of places to hide things.
I do what the audio we heard from the croc ban in Alabama. That was from a piece on the Today Show. What they didn't say, and this is what I was looking for, was how many injuries are we talking about? To what level are these kids twisting their knees and twisting their ankles? I want to see that full report. And by God, I'm sure they have cameras set up in that school. Why not show us some kids tripping over their own crocs?
I mean, I'm getting a little tired of the treadmill fails. Right, I love those on YouTube. But let's get some croc fails. I saw there was one in one of the news stories I was looking at before this story, and they've got high heels Croc stilettos. Did you know that? She goes down hard. Oh, yeah, she goes down hard just walking down the hallway. She was looking at her phone. Maybe if you ban the phone, they'll get the hell out of the school on time. I don't know. And if there's an emergency, guess what I'm leaving behind? My Crocs. Yes. I'll step out of those Crocs in about a microsecond and be out of that school barefoot style. What Ethiopian, marathon runner style.
Just the other day, just thinking about students with phones, I had my first official near miss of the spring semester driving through Dinkytown, and that is, of course, several students all staring at their phones, just stepping out into traffic.
Oh, yeah, constantly. I just
slam on the brakes, and I honked, and boy, they looked at me as if I had just called their moms all whores.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I know, right out there. I don't know, is it Uni or Fourth, but yeah, I honked at one because she stopped in the middle of the intersection to return text, I guess, walking and texting. Right in the middle, I'm like, no, I'm taking a right turn. Come on. And I just gave it the little beep. Didn't lay on it, just gave it the old beep. Yep. The mom beep, not the old man dad beep.
Yeah.
And she flinched and dropped her phone. And then picked up her phone and looked at me like I had assaulted her.
Yeah.
And ran out of the intersection. And I thought, God, there's no help. In her Crocs, no less.
So you're a junior pre-med student and you don't know how crosswalks work. Okay, cool. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Glad to know it. Sometimes, and it's this time of year when a lot of people finally say, I got to get out of the cold. I got to head south. Sometimes vacation plans go horribly awry. Everybody's had at least one vacation that went sideways, and we would like to know about it. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talking text line. Hang tight. I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Mary Jane's Last Dance, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's a fine song. It's a good song. We told you the story about a Minnesota man who was given a free cruise, or he won a cruise at a casino giveaway, got sick on the boat, got the flu, and as he was leaving the boat, the staff of the cruise ship handed him a bill for $47,000 for taking care of that flu. $47,000. That's kind of the opposite of a free cruise, if I think about it. Because nobody's going to spend $47,000 to go on a boat with a bunch of strangers to begin with. So that didn't work out so well. A lot of vacations go sideways. I've noticed the more we plan ahead, the more we try to execute a game plan, the more stuff goes awry. Vacation for me that works is we figure out where we're going and then we just go. And then we just take it,
make it up as you
hour to hour, day to day. Every time that Rosemary and I have hey, let's go here. And then, okay, all right, so Monday we're going to get up and Tuesday we're going to, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment because there's so many things that are out of your control and that are nowhere near home, and it just goes awry, and then you end up being stressed as hell. And so if you've got a vacation that has gone sideways, we'd love to hear about it. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talking text line. This is a good one. This is a text. Slipped in the shower in New York City. I broke a bunch of ribs. Got a pneumothorax and 3 nights in the hospital. Then I wasn't allowed to fly for 6 months, so we had to rent a car to drive home.
Oh no.
They sent me on my way with a hefty supply of strong pain meds. Okay, so there's at least that.
You got the pain meds going. You got a shower mat. I know you got to toss one of those down. I was once sent out for a shower mat for Rick Springfield. He would not take a shower without the shower mat. Well, no one wants to see him go down, break some ribs, and not perform at the South Dakota State Fair. Right. No, that's a nightmare right there. I've had injuries. I blew out my knee on the first day of a 5-day ski trip, and it just dumped snow for 4 more days with my buddies. coming back in a little drunk, covered in snow, and like, oh my God, is this the greatest skiing ever? I mean, but what are you going to do? Usually I do it to myself, but I agree with you, Steve. It's like going into battle. You need a good battle plan, but knowing once you get into battle or into your vacation, things are going to change, and you got to roll with it. I've been that dad that, no. National Lampoon Vacation. I don't care if the park's closed. We're going to power on through, and then I just end up making it worse, and the kids these days still talk about, oh, remember that nightmare vacation with Dad? I'm like, I didn't. But I did one time. I had so many flight delays at an airport, never even made it to this vacation, so many flight delays, I got drunk. Broke up with my girlfriend on the phone, then sobered up, called her to apologize. We had an hour-long heart-to-heart conversation, then went to a different bar in the airport, got drunk all over again, and broke up with her again. Never made the flight. I was at the airport for 26 hours. It was that was the vacation. Then I just went home.
That's a movie. in the 90s. That's a 90-minute rom-com. You just got to make a happier ending, and it's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Listen to this. All right. 651-989-ROCK. Call or text your vacation nightmare. Check this out. On week 1 of a 3-week European vacation, I was 10. I spent time with a cousin who had chickenpox. During the second week, I then came down with chickenpox in another country. I was stuck in an apartment watching Hungarian subtitled English horror films. This was back in the mid-'80s, and the only English movies they had, and I really hated horror movies, but I was so bored. I had to watch these on VHS tapes with my non-English speaking teenaged cousin while the rest of the family toured around. Fun times.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God, that's great. I love the 10-year-old kid with chickenpox. Here, just watch this horror film in another language. You'll be fine. Oh, my God. Check this out.
Sounds scarier, yeah.
These are some pretty good ones, man. I broke my nose and got a concussion while zip-lining in Costa Rica.
Oh.
I sprained both ankles on day 1 of a 14-day hiking trip in Guatemala.
Oh, man.
I got swimmer's ear, pink eye, and the flu in Panama.
Is this one person?
Yes, this is a text. On my most recent trip in November, I broke every bone in my wrist on day 2 of a trip to Jordan. Had to fly home early to get emergency surgery. I'm still in rehab and PT. How did you text that?
I mean, I broke a collarbone in the UP, and I thought I didn't want to get treated up there. I'm like, no, get me back to Minnesota. I'll get quality health care when I get home. But I can't imagine all those different countries you had to deal with. I don't know how many different hospitals, clinics, medical things. Does your insurance pay out? Because that was the big thing on the Minnesota dude who was charged $47,000 for. They gave him an IV and for some reason a catheter. Someone still in the medical industry has to explain that one to me. For a flu treatment. I think they were just having fun and hey, let's use the catheter. What else do we got? I don't know. Defibrillate him. Let's pound him with the defibrillator. Yeah,
go for
something.
It, man.
But so that's holy cow. You need to travel domestically. I recommend the North Shore. Lutsen, beautiful every time of the year.
Yeah, Grand Marais. Let's go.
Yeah.
Here's one. Was traveling by train across Europe. I missed the last train out of a small German city. Hotels were all booked. Had nowhere to stay. I literally slept in a field. I woke up to some guys who were trying to get me to go home with them. I am, in fact, a woman. Yeah, sounds like it ended okay, but that's it. No one wants to wake up to the sound of, I couldn't help but notice you were sleeping in the field. Maybe you'd like to check out my hot blanket.
Sydney's dad, I'm renting a van and just going to travel the Rockies all summer long. By yourself? Serial killer country, Rockies? No, you're not. But thankfully, she only did it for 2 weeks, which was nerve-wracking enough. Your kid alone in Europe. I know that's sexist of me, but I would worry if I had a son.
That's what it is. I couldn't help but notice you seem to be in a van by yourself.
Yes! I mean, don't be in a van by yourself as a young woman out there, please, For some reason,
Let me show you my special sausage casing skill set. I think we could be friends. Wow. Vacation nightmares. Let's have them. 651-989-ROCK. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
It's KQ Morning Show for Wednesday, February the 12th. We've been discussing vacation nightmares. Some amazing text messages have come in. Absolutely astonishing. But we are snake bitten as a community. The KQ listeners, boy, we book a trip. Get out of our way, man. It's going sideways quick. But first things first, 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talk and text line. Shirley in Cold Spring has been waiting for a few minutes. Thanks for hanging in there with us, Shirley. Good morning.
Good morning.
Shirley, give me your favorite band, please.
A cross between Motley Crue and Metallica.
I like it. Shirley likes it hard. Hard rock, that is. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
Unfortunately, the Vikings.
Oh, no. Fortunately. Good people over there at the Vikings. All right, Shirley, give us your story. What do you got?
All right, going to Colorado with my boyfriend of 2 years on a plane, super pumped, going to Red Rocks for the first time, listening to Big Head Todd.
Yeah.
And having a few hard cocktails and maybe a few gummies that I've never tried before and some altitude. And all of a sudden, my boyfriend looks at me and he's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just chill." And then I drop to the floor for about a minute. I get back up and I'm like, "I'm good. I can do this. We're good."
Yeah.
And I go back to the floor. Next thing I know, I'm getting carried down by some big, chubby security guards down the Red Rock stairs. Going backstage, I got an IV going in me. I was hoping my boyfriend was going to propose, so I asked the ambulance guy if he's going to propose. He goes, I don't think it's a good night for you, and I made up my name, which is why I'm calling myself Shirley.
Well, that's what the floor is there for, Shirley. Yeah.
Now we have been married for over 4 years, so we're all good.
Oh, all right. Nice. Okay, good. It's a happy ending. That's what we were looking for.
Yeah, because that's a happy beginning. He knows he can't get himself too far into the doghouse now with AKA Shirley. I mean, I love that when a woman does the stupid stuff on the first date, you know? Then I know, I'm like, yeah, all right, awesome. The bar's been lowered. She's the gal for me.
It's like it's like that old line from the movie. Surely she's not going to lose her mind at a Big Head Todd concert at Red Rock. Shirley, thanks for the call. We appreciate you hanging in there. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talk and text line. Kim is in Baldwin. Kim, good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Kim, give me your favorite band.
Def Leppard.
Give me your favorite team, any sport.
Minnesota Wild.
I like it. All right, Kim, what do you got for us?
So my whole family's cursed when it comes to vacations, but my daughter's got it the worst. So I'll give you the highlight of the worst three. Her very first vacation, we went on a cruise, and we thought she was just a little seasick. Turns out it was the flu, and we spent most of the cruise taking turns holding her in the shower because she couldn't even get dressed because she was constantly throwing up.
Oh, no.
We tried to make it up the following year and do another cruise. We went down to New Orleans, and we were tootling around town. She was a little kid. And she was in the stroller, and she kept leaning forward. We were walking at a pretty good clip, and my now ex-husband kept getting mad that she was leaning forward, and it was ticking him off. So to teach her a lesson, he abruptly stopped while we were at a quick walk pace, which, as you know, people in motion stay in motion. And she went face first and slid on her face on the pavement for about 10 feet.
Nice move, buddy. Nice move.
Ground her whole nose off, pretty much, and she still has a saddle scar to this day. So every picture looked horrible for that cruise. And the pièce de résistance Christmas 2023, so last Christmas, we took the trip of a lifetime to Hawaii. We had booked an excursion to swim with the manta rays, which are like the size of a bus. Like, it's an amazing thing. Looking forward to it for months. And we were just about ready to leave for our manta ray trip on day 2 of our Hawaiian vacation. And she's like, "Mom, I can't do it. I don't feel good." I'm like, "No, you're kidding me." I'm like, "Get in the car. No, we're going." And she's like, "No, I can't do it." And I'm like, "We can't get our money back. We're never going to have a chance to do this again." She's like, "Mom, I'm serious. I can't." Turns out, flu again. She spent the next 5 days of our week in Hawaii in bed with a fever of 104.
I mean, wow.
And I felt like a jerk for giving her the business when she was legitimately sick.
Sometimes two things can be true. She can be terribly sick, and you should have given her the business too. I mean, I'm going to side with both of you in that one. That's a rough run. Pardon me if I say I don't really feel like vacationing with you, but I hope your next one goes better.
Lutsen, Kim, Lutsen.
Yeah,
our next one, our cruise this year, she had the decency to wait until the last day of the cruise to get COVID. So at least we got to enjoy it. But the curse holds true. We can't have a vacation.
Maybe a little more OJ in her diet. Build up that immune system a little bit before she travels. I don't know.
Thanks for the call, Kim. That's great. 651-989-ROCK. My buddy Tubby has texted in. He said, I was flying my cat Skeeter to go live with my sister in Alabama. At the MSP airport, running late, security had me take Skeeter out of her cat carrier so that the carrier could be scanned. By the way, this is why Milo does not fly. We cannot vouch for his being able to be controlled out of the carrier.
Yeah.
So if our cat's going anywhere, it's a long road trip. So Tubby continues, Skeeter wasn't having it and squirmed out of my arms and bolted down the concourse. Gone.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you,
Goodbye,
if we took our cat to the airport, that's one way of saying we're dropping our cat off at the farm.
Yeah.
We'd never see him again.
I'm going to start using that. We're taking her out to the airport. Yeah.
He continues. The security dude shouted, "We have a cat." I had to run 50 yards to the kiosk she was hiding under, yank her out. She scratched my arm bloody. We barely made the flight. It did improve in Atlanta as Skeeter and I were the first customers at Ludacris's grand opening airport restaurant called Chicken and Beer.
That was a nightmare to the very end. Yeah.
It was all, yeah, right. It was all worthwhile. We got into chicken and beer before anybody else. I guess it could be worse.
Yes.
Yeah, only 1 in 100 trips that involve a cat ever turn out well. I've been on 2. Now I'm remembering disasters. Sydney flying with her cat. She was moving. We would never just take a cat on a vacation. Who would do that? But she was moving, so that was the way to get the cat there. I don't know what drug they gave us from the vet office there in Scott County, but we quadrupled it. I was ready to take a couple of pills. But this cat was insane. Absolutely. Broke out of its carrier on the plane and screeching. Noises. You know how cats can be. And these were noises that were far above that. But, yeah, if we could fly with a gun, that cat would have been taken to the airport, as they say.
6519. Fly away.
Oh, yeah.
Little kitty.
Shot it right in the spot.
651-989-ROCK, the KQ Talk and Text line. Let us know if you have a cat to take to the airport or if there's another travel nightmare you want to share. Hang tight. I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Wednesday, February the 12th. We've been having a good time this morning. A lot of vacation nightmares that we've been able to share with a lot of listeners on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. This is an odyssey right here. Listen to this. My boyfriend's family and I were driving to Colorado for a ski trip in their conversion van. In the middle of nowhere, the front wheel sheared off the lug nuts, flying 60 miles per hour in a snowstorm. Luckily, my boyfriend's dad drove a fire truck for a living, and he kept it under control. We had to stay the night to repair the van. The next day, we get back on the road, and there is blowing snow. You can barely see anything. A few hours later, I'm drifting off in the back, and I hear my boyfriend's dad say, "Oh, F-bomb, it's a cow."
No.
And the next thing I know, we are airborne like the Dukes of Hazzard. We hit a dead milking cow in the middle of the highway. My boyfriend and his dad ended up rescuing the family that originally hit the cow. They were in a ditch covered in snow. Oh, my God. We rode into Denver in the back of a tow truck. When we finally got to our destination, I literally kissed the ground.
That's
An odyssey.
crazy.
That's good stuff. I like the tire flying off, and then the next day, just hitting a dead cow. Bang.
That's nuts.
These are the things that happen sometimes. You can share on the KQ Talk and Text line if you have a vacation nightmare. Feel free, or you can give us a call. Of course, we've had a few of those great ones. We're also, as it is the middle of the week, we're putting together a midweek mixtape. More on that in a moment. But here's the story I really wanted to get to. Most companies have sick days. No matter what job you have, no matter where you work, you've got a certain number of sick days. Now, a new report is suggesting, after copious amounts of, what's the word I'm looking for? Copulation research? Copulate? I don't know. Now the new concept of sex days. Some companies are already providing days for what they're calling sexual wellness. These so-called sex days, it's dedicated time off. And what they're hoping to endorse is intimacy, health, and other related needs. Of course, generally speaking, employees at various industries polled say, oh, yeah, we could definitely use some of that. Yeah. The companies who are already providing sex days say there's an incredible productivity boost following those days. People come back and they feel much better about getting back to work after they've had a day specifically to go knock the nickels out of whoever they're with.
Oh, they don't provide a sex worker for us? I suppose if you're at the executive level, if you're a manager, they'll then you can have a sex day at work, I think, if I'm reading this right. What if you don't climax? What if it's a little frustrating? Then you show up to work just like, God, I couldn't,
I guess that could be the case.
My mom called right in the middle of it. It just totally threw me off, and she won't tell me what she wants. I'm just saying.
I would imagine that they, because of, companies, they tell you how to do everything else. They'll probably tell you how to handle the day. Like, turn your phone off, put on, we would suggest Al Green's Greatest Hits or whatever it's going to be. It's interesting. Tech, healthcare, and finance businesses showed the highest enthusiasm for this. Now, of course, for those in the tech sector, they wouldn't provide sex workers, but simply tutors. They have to show them how to have sex with another human. Okay, you've developed an app. That's great. We're going to have to show you how sex works.
Yeah. Pornhub also works if you want to.
Yeah, there is that. This is a wild one. I mean, I can't imagine. This is what I think. Well, what's wrong with you where the idea that you have a day that's a sexual wellness day, somehow that's better than just taking a day for any other reason? Like, it has to be designated by the boss that you can go home and have sex. You can go home and have sex any day you want if you so feel like it. I don't know. To me, it would feel like the fun would be to say, hey, man, I have a sore throat. I don't want to spread germs.
Yeah.
And then you just spend the day in the sack, just getting your rocks up. That's the way to work a sex day in. The whole thing where some boss says, hey, man, you look a little sluggish at the desk. Why don't you go have sex? That's a little creepy to me.
Yeah.
Sure, but if it'll get me more time off work, I'm willing to play with it.
It's all about getting off, right? Yeah. Getting time off, I mean. That's what it's about. We don't care. It could have been like, hey, we're thinking about giving workers a day off this month to go home and hit your thumb with a hammer. Okay, sounds good. And what if your spouse doesn't they have to get the sexual health day off, and now it's like trying to schedule sex after you've been married for a long time. It's a little complicated, but Ryder's right. Just give us the day off.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm off tomorrow for a mental health day. It's legal in Minnesota. I looked it up. Damn it.
Good to know.
I have rights. And
your mental health day. I'm looking at the paperwork here. It starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Have fun with that.
Enjoy.
That'll be great.
I want a PTO day drinking day.
Ooh. Okay. We could, anytime. Also beginning around 10 a.m. most days. So
when do you drink, by the way? Yeah, I mean, you don't wait till the sun sets to start drinking. That's pass out time. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, I just saw something the other day, speaking of sunsets, that this month, the month of February, we're going to, from February 1st to the 28th, we will get 80 more minutes of sunlight a day. Like, this is the most, the days are getting longer. What's that?
8, you mean, or 80? You said 80.
No, it's 80, dude.
No, 80 more minutes of sunlight a day, over an hour. Just this month alone, from the beginning to the end.
Oh, for the month. Oh, all right, gotcha. Yeah. All right, gotcha. Yeah, well, that's nice.
So we're about midway. We're midway into a sunlight bonanza. So yeah, the day drinking gets extended more now. Is my point, really.
Yeah, I mean, pretty soon I'll have to start falling asleep at night. I like falling asleep in the winter because the sun sets when I need to go to bed at 5:30. So I don't know. Oh, by the way, snow moon tonight. It's clear sky and you want to step out in the sub-zero temperatures, look out through the bay window perhaps. Check it out on your way in an early morning. Big snow moon tonight. Should clear out tonight. I've
never appreciated the winter sunset more than in these last couple of years, since I too need to get to bed early. Man, it does make a difference. Forget those summer nights. I'm not getting any sleep, but yeah, the good old winter sleep is a good thing. The other thing that's going on this week, with Valentine's Day approaching, yesterday was what they call Red Tuesday. 3 days before Valentine's Day are when a consequential number of relationships end. Many people, usually early in a relationship, they get the pressure of a pending Valentine's Day, and they're like, I gotta bail. I'm getting out. It's kind of like the way a lot of married couples wait until January. They get the holidays out of the way, and then they file for divorce. Younger couples split up just before Valentine's Day, which makes perfect sense to me. So we're putting together, of course, as it is Wednesday, our midweek mixtape. Unloved days, basically. Unloved songs, I should say. Anti-love songs. And we've asked for a bunch. We've got some great ones on the KQRS Facebook page. I'm Not in Love, 10cc. Had the 45. Listened to it 1 million times as a kid. Oh, what a heartbreaker.
All right.
That's a good one, Joe. I like that one.
All
The
right.
other song we're getting a lot of attention from is Don't Go Away, Girl, Don't Go Away, Mad, Just Go Away, the Motley Crue song.
Yeah,
That
true.
was my pick.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. I got one from. Ooh,
There it is. Yeah, that one works, man.
you can say so much crap in a rock song and get away with it, can't you? You could just be a vile human being, and if you put it in a rock song, I like it. It sounds good. I'm going to buy that. I got one from Lisa out there. I've had a lot of Lisas dump me over the years. At least 4. I don't know. You know it's coming. Your name's Lisa? Let's go. Let's go out and get some dinner. You know there's an end, a beginning, a middle, and an end. But she sent me Dylan's Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. That's a good one. When you want to act like you don't care and you're being cool and taking the high road, but not really. Nothing says it better than Dylan's Don't Think Twice. Goodbye is too good a word, babe, so I'll just say fare thee well.
One text did bring up the Guns N' Roses song, I Used to Love Her, But I Had to Kill Her. We'll have the authorities track down that number just to be safe. There's a few of those coming in now. Speak of the devil, that's crazy. Paul Simon's 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. It's funny. I don't think of that as a breakup song. I think of that as the most frustrating song any drummer's ever heard. Because every drummer sits down at some point and is like, I'm going to play that Steve Gadd lick, the beginning of 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. And guess what? You can't.
No.
The guy that played that drum track, that little drum loop, it's very simple. It's very deceptive. It's very, it's impossible. You can play it, but you can't play it right. Yeah. Boom. It's like you can, I can do a reasonable facsimile of this pattern. But the more you listen to it, the more you play it. Ask any drummer, hey man, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, and they'll immediately get a little eye twitch.
Yeah.
Because we've all spent days of our life trying to get it just right. And if your name isn't Steve Gadd, you're not going to get it just right.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm going to stand in the front row of the next Golden Smog show and just scream, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover! Come on!
Yeah. There's a song by my band Sugar Hippie where I do the most dumbed-down version, my tribute to that beat on a song called The Door, and it's much, much simpler. But it's funny because any drummer that hears it, the first thing they say is, oh, that's like a first grade 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. I'm like, well, it's more like preschool, but yeah, that's exactly what it is. So many great songs. I love when somebody puts down a song on the list. You're like, oh man, I haven't heard that in forever. And then you put it on, and about 30 seconds in, you're like, yeah, it's not that great. I didn't need to hear that again. It excited me because I loved it when I was a kid. But now, not so great. I'll leave you with this one because I am totally down with this one. Junior Brown. This is from Danny on the Facebook page. Junior Brown, My Wife Thinks You're Dead. Oh, man.
God, as soon as you said Junior Brown, I forgot about that one. High five.
Man. You're wanted by the police, and my wife thinks you're dead. That's as good as it gets. The top 5 at 9 coming up. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good Wednesday morning. It is February the 12th. It is hump day, and we've been humping since 6 o'clock. As we earlier determined, humping, that's my new euphemism for doing radio. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
It's all about stamina, man.
That's what we do. We wake up early, we get jacked on caffeine, and we get to humping, man. That's just how it goes around here at the KQ Morning Show. Here's something cool, and I'd be remiss if I did not mention that you can meet up with Ryder and Camping World at the Convention Center Friday from noon to 4.
And it's freaking Valentine's Day. Game on.
Come on. The ultimate RV show at the Convention Center. Admission is free. You can grab KQ gear and other prizes, and you can ask Ryder all about humping in the morning.
Yes, please do it. Ryder. No, your show.
Here's the deal. If you buy a camper on Valentine's Day, you don't have to get any Valentine's Day gifts for anybody for 8 years.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's the rules,
I did the math, and I made the rules, and that's how it's shaken down.
That's longer than most people own a camper. It's kind of like a boat, you know. After about that third time of winterizing it, you're like, we only use this thing one weekend up in Brainerd, for crying out loud. I don't know why we're still doing it. By the way, Ryder is the executive producer of this show. Well, she's the only producer. She produces this show. So any complaints that you have about the show, feel free to take them out to Camping World and confront her directly. But she does have a sharp knee. That's all I'm going to say. Very sharp knee.
All right, guys. This has been fun, but we got to get back to the humping. All right. We got your top 5 at 9 is what we got for you right now. 5 stories we want to share with you to get your day off on the right foot. We mentioned the fact that number 5. We mentioned the fact that in Minnesota, a lot of school systems are banning cell phones. That's hardly the only thing that's on the banned list at schools around the country. Several schools have now taken an interesting step, and now one in Alabama, according to the Today Show, has joined the list of schools that have banned Crocs, the shoes. Crocs. Jeez. You cannot wear Crocs at an Alabama high school. At several schools throughout the country, and now one in Alabama. The principal, his name is Stoney Pritchett, and a few students on the record discussing the banning of Crocs.
It actually is a safety hazard. Man, they can twist their knees, twist their ankles, things like that. So you won't have tennis shoes on all the time.
If it's an emergency, we can still wear our Crocs because we can put them in sports mode and we can run.
Yeah, you can't go on a basketball court and go side to side, lateral, and jump up now and with Crocs on. It's a hallway. Kids are moving, things are happening. It's a safety hazard. It's a safety hazard. I mean, things happen. If they break out with something happen, they have these high heels on and slip and fall. The school is liable.
Yeah, he's talking about the Croc high heels, Croc stilettos, by the way. They're also, I guess, popular down in Alabama. Ant-Man, are you listening to the Eagle Morning Show, Ant-Man, this morning with the Timberwolves? You can't go side to side and play basketball in Crocs. That sounds like a challenge to me, buddy. Get her done.
Yeah, I love that he's like straight up going and lateral jumping, side to side movement. I mean, he's breaking it down like he's a kinesiologist or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, like I specialize in joint productivity, the knees, the ankles. We need these to be sufficiently supple for football season. I mean, that's the weirdest thing.
It's Alabama.
Listen. Okay, if you're gonna ban Crocs, then at least bring back dodgeball for God's sakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. What I mean, dodgeball was great. You know, we used to. Speaking of things you can no longer do, banned in schools. I just remembered this. We played a game in the 70s. We played a game on the playground as a kid. Yeah. Well, nowadays, the perfect name for it would be Barry Sanders, because you get one ball for a whole group of like 20 kids. One kid has it, and everyone else is just trying to tackle that one kid.
Kill the carrier.
So it's called Barry Sanders now because that's what it looked like watching him. The Lions forgot to give him offensive linemen all those years. But what'd you call it? Kill the carrier?
There were other names for it, as we know, but yeah.
I'll just say it. We had Smear the Queer. That was the only thing I ever knew it as. That's not going to fly anymore. But that sort of game, I mean, the stick-to-itiveness a game like that teaches. Bring that back, bring back dodgeball, and then do what you want with the Crocs.
How about, remember tetherball, just out there on the stick, and you would just really try to hit your buddy in the head. That's what you were trying to do, slam him in the face with that tetherball, just get it rocking around there. Yeah. Just make it a little bit dangerous. And by the way, if you're getting rid of the Crocs, don't forget those little Croc rings, Croc keychains. Come on, he's a little kid. I love this audio.
What you got?
A Croc ring.
A Croc ring?
Yeah.
A croc ring?
Yeah.
That's for your finger, huh?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, man.
Croc ring. His little Croc ring, yeah.
Sweet little kid with his Croc ring. Oh, my gosh. No Crocs. And also, fun fact about Alabama, also no learning going on in schools down there.
What about their pants hanging down around their thighs, you know? Can they go side to side? Can they get out of school in an emergency? Skinny jeans, are they still wearing those? Yeah, I mean, my jeans are skinny jeans now, but I'm going to get a bigger size.
I have no time for people from Minnesota making fun of the South. However, as a Southerner, I could make fun of it all damn day long. Make no mistake. As they say about Alabama, hey, at least we're not Mississippi. Number 4.
Fair.
Number 4 in your top 5 at 9, the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show went down in New York City, and Monty for the win. For the first time ever, a giant schnauzer has won Best in Show, and oh my God, when the announcement was made, it was like we all won the lottery. Check this out.
For Best in Show at the 149th Annual Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, I choose the giant schnauzer.
Oh, Monty!
Was she talking about the dog?
He did it! 3 years, and he finally wins Best in Show. What an incredible moment for Katie Bernadine.
Monty the Magnificent, your 2025 Best in Show with a giant schnauzer.
That sounds like the voices we would do as kids, trying to be a sportscaster, boys. Monty, the 7 groups, by the way, there's 7 different categories, and then they all get wins, and then from those 7, they take the ultimate winner. Herding, hound, non-sporting, sporting, terrier, toy, and working. Call me when they bring up the good old-fashioned mutt. I want to go to a dog show for mixed breeds. I'll bring Chauncey out there. You tell me what you think he is. I don't know. He's got a lot of snot, and he's got a heart of gold.
I'd love to see Chauncey out there. Yeah. What about pit bulls? Do they have a pit bull cat? I'd love to see just a pit bull grab one of those fat cankles on one of those ladies, and just lock the jaw on or whatever. But yeah. What was it called? The giant schnauzer?
The giant schnauzer.
That was Ed Hader's nickname in high school. He had that big nose.
Really? That's
called him the
great.
giant schnauzer, yeah.
One in my neighborhood when I was a kid, his name was Hans. He terrorized me. You can't make this up. Of course, if you have a schnauzer, you have to give it a German name. And there was a dog named Hans, and he was just a surly bastard. I tell you what. The Westminster Dog Show, for the record, you heard him say the 149th edition. They call it the second oldest continuously held sporting event in the U.S. Is it really a sporting event? It's second only to the Kentucky Derby, which at least we don't have to argue about whether that's a sporting event or not. The dog show? Nah, I don't know. Not so much. Again, give me the mixed breed, and then I get excited. Number 3 on your top 5 at 9. Hey, Minnesota, you're welcome, okay? I have opened the floodgates. The people following in my wake. It's a fact. The Metropolitan Council expects the Twin Cities population to increase between now and 2050 by 650,000 people.
Ooh.
That's 650,000 people who aren't here today will be here in 2050. That is some spectacular growth. Eden Prairie, Lakeville, Blaine, Maple Grove, and Woodbury. Those are the suburbs expected to show the most growth. Look out.
Listening out there on 35W right now, maybe you're on 35E, perhaps you're on 494, 169, trying to cross the river. This is fantastic news.
It's great news. I'm looking forward. I just think, because we already have, the whole Twin Cities area is known as one of the country's great walking and bicycling areas, and this is only going to improve that because
3 months out of the year.
We will be walking everywhere with 600. That's like taking Boston, Massachusetts, and moving them all here.
Yeah,
Boston's population is 650,000. Just adding it to the 7-county metro area. Okay, 7 counties. Hang on. Anoka, Carver, Dakota, Ramsey, Hennepin, Scott, and Washington. I Googled that, of course. I had no idea. That's them. For a split second,
nailed it, man.
I just wanted one person to go, damn, Steve's really paying attention. No, of course, I had to Google that. I would have gone Hennepin and Ramsey and then gone, I'm sure I've heard of the other ones. And I have, but they wouldn't have come to mind. That's how that works.
Population explosions are happening all over Minnesota, just not in the metro area. A buddy of mine moved up north, I think it was, or was this down south? I'm not exactly sure where this is at, but he moved to a town that I've been having a little bit of fun with when we've been talking about it, and that is Funkley, Minnesota. Funkley works for the Minnesota DNR. He's up there near Pine Island somewhere, the state forest up there, and moved his family of 4 there. So the population boomed from 12-16.
Yes.
I mean, do the percentage on that. That's a lot of people.
Substantial.
Got the Funkley bar.
That's outstanding, man. All right, that's on the list. Got to get to Funkley one of these days. Number 2 on your top 5 at 9. The Philadelphia Eagles did a lot of things by winning the Super Bowl Sunday. They broke the streak for the Kansas City Chiefs. They allowed it's like a long national nightmare. This Chiefs thing that's been going on for 7 seasons now, where they're always right there at the end. They broke through. Great to see a young team win with an incredible defensive performance. But most importantly, what they did is they broke the Kirk Cousins curse. Kirk Cousins curse. Until Sunday, no team had ever lost to Kirk Cousins in the regular season and then gone on to win the Super Bowl. That like last year's 49ers. The Vikings beat them last year with Kirk Cousins. They went on and lost in a Super Bowl. This has happened to Cousins throughout his entire career. Just about every season, one of the 2 Super Bowl teams has been defeated in the regular season by Kirk Cousins, and for the first time, that team cashed in and got the Lombardi Trophy.
Is it time to bring Kirk back now that I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little too out in front of myself here.
Yeah, you really need to. Whatever that thought was, we can just squelch it right here.
I don't know the Creed, man.
We'll keep playing. But they keep playing higher, and I'm going, Creed has a lot of hits. They got a good catalog. We don't have to only play higher.
Yeah, I want to hear them all.
Nick Sirianni leaked audio from his pre-Super Bowl pep talk to the team. Mentioned specifically, we got to break the Cousins curse. I cannot. This Creed thing will not abide, man. And they went out, and by God, they certainly did that. I want to give a quick morning shout-out to Carver, Minnesota, or as I call it, Carver.
Carver, Minnesota.
I just see that anytime I see it, I'm like, Carver. I don't know why. Maybe it's a Garvey. Maybe it's a sportscaster thing, because as I just said a minute ago, my brothers and I, we grew up in front of the TV watching sports, all of us doing our sports voices.
Yeah.
And there's a rope hit on my third base line, and Ripken's going to come around, take a big. We just all had our variations. And for some reason, that word, I see it, and I have to go, Carver, as if Carver with a base hit up the middle. But anyway, hey, Carver, good to have you with us. We appreciate you being with us this morning. Number 1 on your top 5 at 9, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has announced its nominees for the class of 2025. Let's go to the list quickly. The White Stripes, Soundgarden, Fish, Outkast, Oasis. Okay, I know all those groups. Mana, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. This is a rock band from Mexico City. I've never heard of them until today. But the White Stripes, Soundgarden, Fish, Outkast, Oasis, I'm down with all those. Cyndi Lauper, second nomination. Joy Division, Billy Idol, William Idol, nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the first time. Joe Cocker for the first nomination. He's got to go in. I mean, my God.
He's one of the greatest tribute bands of all time.
Just listen to Mad Dogs and Englishmen. What, his Belushi tribute? You still love that, don't you?
I do.
Just put on Mad Dogs and Englishmen and tell me that man should not have already gone into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Chubby Checker.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds about right. I mean,
that's one of those founders special rooms.
Yeah,
right. Going way back. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mariah Carey, for the second time, nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Geez.
Right.
I don't want a Christmas song.
For the first time ever, Bad Company nominated.
Okay.
You know how the other musicians from the Rock Hall of Fame get up on the main stage there at the end of the show and they all jam together?
Yeah.
Mariah Carey and who? Outkast? Mariah Carey up there with the rest of the Soundgarden fellas.
I think
she could do the Chris Cornell. She can hit the notes.
Probably could, yeah.
She can probably. Well, you know what they should do is bring out some fine crystal and see if she can shatter it with a note. If you break the glass, if you can shatter this flute, this wine, this champagne flute, you get in. And the final nominee, the Black Crowes from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
A band with which I have a passing familiarity.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell, man? What are you going to wear? What would you wear?
I'm real nervous that you're going to wear Crocs.
I would because in 2006, the orange Crocs, which I did wear, not only did I wear them all summer long, I wore them on stage. I played gigs in those Crocs. I would probably go with some sort of like a onesie. Like I'm there to
jumpsuit.
Jumpsuit. I'm there to jump into a bucket truck and repair some lines. Work. I'd go like that.
The Carhartts. ironic.
Rock me a Carhartt endorsement for the Hall of Fame. I'm not speaking at all out of like some false humility. I would be beyond astonished if the Black Crowes were inducted this year, but I would be thrilled. I'm not going to act like I wouldn't be. It'd be awesome. We'll all go to Cleveland. We'll do the show from there.
Sure.
We'll have ourselves a glass of suds and we'll enjoy it. That'd be great. So there is a fan voting segment to this. So hey, man,
I'm stuffing that ballot.
Hold away.
I'm real good at it. Yep.
Hook a brother up while we're at it. That'd be something to talk about.
Right on.
And then, of course, I've already had several people text me and say, I hope you get in. I want to see the follow-up book. I'm like, nah, one's enough.
We always like a little awkwardness on stage at those Rock and Roll Hall of Fame get-togethers.
I can tell you one person who won't be awkward, this guy. I'll be having an absolute blast, make no mistake about it. So, stuff that damn ballot box. Let's get the kid in there. What do you say?